Who wants to be a millionaire? I do. I'm going to share with you my exact strategy to become a millionaire in 5 years. And I'll teach you how to become a millionaire too with your 9 to 5 salary, even if you're starting from scratch. Why, hello, I'm Carly, a finance grad and the creator of Best Money Class Ever, where I teach how to pay off debt, invest, and stress less about money. Grab a seat. I'm about to spill the financial tea. Are you ready for it? Last week, I shared with you every single dollar I spent in 2025 with the goal to de-influence you and normalize living below your means. This week, I want to influence you to become a millionaire. It's a lot easier than you think. You don't need to earn 6 figures, build a real estate empire, or even start a business. You just need to start investing, and I will show you how. I'm going to show literally an average Joe example of how someone with 40K in debt can pay it off within 36 months and still retire a millionaire earning a 60K income. You can get your retirement projections at investor.com. I'll be using my financial day planner. It's linked in the description below. Here's exactly what you can do to reach millionaire status, even if you're just starting off, even if you have debt. Here's an average Joe example. They do have current liabilities of about $40,000 with a student loan, some credit cards, car loans, IOU. Here's exactly what I would do if I were them starting from scratch. Quick heads up, if you have big financial goals this year, but you kind of need someone to help walk you along the way, I'm hosting a free class called The Ultimate Guide to Managing Money. It only happens once a quarter and it is happening now. So make sure and snag your spot in the link below. Before we dive in, I wanted to clarify what exactly does it mean to be a millionaire? Millionaire has nothing to do with what you earn. It is instead with what you keep. I want you to become chief financial officer and manage your money like a boss. We will calculate your net worth, which you can see on your balance sheet. Your balance sheet shows all of your assets, everything that you own, like your investments, your savings, home and car can also be included. And then your liabilities is the total of everything that you owe. Student loans, car loans, credit cards, it is a mortgage or a car loan. And then net worth is assets minus liabilities. So for example, let's say you are an attorney, you make $300,000, you live in $1 million home, but you have a $900,000 mortgage and $250,000 in student loans. You are not a millionaire. Got me? Me, on the other hand, never really earned 6 figures, live full time in an RV, but I'm a half millionaire. Every show has a dope name that they call their listeners. You are my yellow groupers. We have slow starts. We are behind. The cards are stacked against us. The hands we were dealt are not ideal. That is where our grit was born. So if you're feeling behind on investing, I got you. And we're back to the average Joe example. This is their income statement, which is their monthly budget. It shows their income and their expenses in a month. So if I were them, I would create a budget they can automate, and I would then start the finance plan. The finance plan is my signature system to turn things around. Step 1 is to save 10%. If you are in debt, you would do 5 towards a starter emergency fund, 5 towards retirement. The numbers on this for average Joe, his revenue analysis will say he's a product sales rep. He makes $59,000 with an annual bonus of $1,000. His total compensation is $60,000. We have his starting paycheck, and he is not currently taking utilization of his company match. So we are going to adjust that to start doing the 5% company match. This is his new take-home pay. On his income statement, he will start investing 5% of each paycheck. He's paid twice a month. Average Joe will also save 5% for an emergency fund after tax. So for him, that would be $248 a month. Step 2 is then to pay off debt. You would pay all of your debt minimums plus an extra Spartan amount of $300 or more, like the Spartans. It's the highest interest debt. And then he's going to pay all of his debts. So he has his debt payments here, plus on his regular budget, he's adding $300 extra to go towards his highest interest debt. In order to become a millionaire, you probably have to make some changes. Very minor. Go through line by line and decide what he's going to keep, cut, lower, or increase, making a few changes to really get the ball moving. By paying just $300 extra per month, average Joe will pay his minimums, which is about $900 plus the $300. So $1,196 will be going towards debt every month. He will actually be completely debt-free within 36 months. This is what his finance plan looks like. So this is his gross income, just under $5,000. So while he is paying off debt, he will do $248 towards retirement and then $248 for a starter emergency fund. So he'll pay his minimum's $896 plus 300, which is a total of $1196 per month. Within 36 months, he'll be debt free. He will have invested just about $9,000 and also saved about $9,000. Step 3 is then once you are debt free, you will then start investing all 10%, and then you'll do a process I call turning a liability into an asset. So once your debt is gone, you were used to paying that. So you'll take that old debt payments plus that extra smart amount, throw that in the bank for a rainy day. Step number 3 is then to have an emergency fund. Average Joe is going to save 10 months of expenses for a rainy day. At this point in the finance plan, his debt is gone. So his monthly expenses and what he actually needs to live off of is way lower than he would have ever thought. His total emergency fund that he's going for is just about $21,000. If he continues to turn a liability into an asset and save what he was spending towards debt, he'll have that full emergency fund within 9 months of being debt free. Step number 4 is life purchases. Buying a home, outright buying a car with cash, or early retirement. This is where it gets fun. Average Joe can actually start investing what he was spending towards debt or save up for a home, car, or even go back to school. This is a home estimator. It shows how much home you can afford and also how much car you can afford too. And let's say he is 32 with a standard retirement age of 65. It'll take him 3 years to pay off his debt. He'll have his emergency fund within 9 months of being debt free. And then let's say after paying off his debt and building his emergency fund, he does want to have a solid 20% down payment. He'll have that within 52 months. And then once he has his home down payment, he will turn a liability into an asset and invest that extra amount. So you can see while he is debt free here, he is investing the 5%. He does have a company match that is inflation adjusted. Once he is debt free, year 3, he'll start investing the 10%, and then he'll focus on building that emergency fund and home down payment. Then he will supercharge his investing. So the 1196 is now his money to keep, and he'll invest that. For average Joe, who is earning $60K with $40,000 in debt, following the finance plan by age 65, he will have $2.6 million. I was featured on CNBC, and I shared with the entire world my goal to be a millionaire by 45. I'm currently 40, so this is my exact 5-year plan to make that happen. Here is my balance sheet and net worth tracker. This is starting January 1 of 2026. We have my bank account emergency fund. I have my investments over here. My total assets are $556,000, and I don't have any liabilities. Here is my retirement calculator and when I can become work optional. I guess the question is, if I have over $500,000 invested, what if I just let it grow and compound? When will that double to $1 million? There is a rule to estimate this. It's called the rule of 72. Basically, what you do is you take the expected return and divide it by 72, and that's the number of years to double your money. On average, the stock market earns 10% in the long run. 72 divided by 10 would be 7.2 years. If I just let my money grow and compound, I'll reach millionaire status. I do like to do a little bit more conservative estimates. 72 will say divided by 8% interest. That would be 9 years. If I want to reach my 5-year goal, then the question is, how much do I need to invest every month? Let's take a look at the numbers. When you are planning for retirement, it's important to know your annual spending, because the rule of thumb is you can save 25 times your annual spending and safely withdraw 4% of your nest egg to live off of. I have my 2025 total annual spending entered, which is $31,975. I did a lot with that money. I went on an Australia, New Zealand trip, placed an AC, and I furnished an entire apartment. I live full-time in an RV, and now I have an apartment. This is the current year, your current age, and then co-spy is whenever you stop investing and you just let your money grow and compound to work for you. The default is the standard retirement age of 65. And then it has, from my balance sheet, it hops over the total current retirement savings. So this, we're not including emergency savings in this calculation. So right now I have $519,159 invested as of the start of January 2026. Here we are going to have a few assumptions. The first assumption is an 8% interest. Historically, the stock market earns 10% in the long run, but we're going to do a little more conservative with 8%. First, we're going to assume there is no Social Security. What this calculator does is year by year, it shows how that money grows and compounds. And then the cool thing is it shows what happens when you retire and you withdraw that money. It assumes that you withdraw your inflation adjusted dollars. 31,975. What does that look like whenever I retire, assuming the 3% inflation. Before we dive into what I need to do by age 45, I wanted to kind of show some crazy wild numbers. If I do absolutely nothing and just simply let my money grow and compound by the standard age of retirement, I will have a nest egg 65 of $3.5 million. Cool thing is whenever I retire, I will withdraw that inflation adjusted amount. 31,975 will then be $67,000 approximately at my retirement age. When I withdraw that money, my nest egg will continue to grow. You'll actually see year by year, my nest egg is continuing to grow. This could last me well past 100, and I will actually have a nest egg that continues to grow to almost $40 million. Social Security is currently around, and let's say the average monthly benefit in today's dollars is $2,000. The annual benefit in today's dollars is $24,000. Let's say I receive that at age 65, which would be year 2050. That would then be in 2050 dollars, just about $50,000, which then means I would live off of that and then withdraw the difference. So you'll see here year by year, my nest egg at age 100 would actually grow and be over $52 million, which is crazy. That is also why I consider myself semi-retired. Let's take a look at the numbers for that. Let's say I do what's called barista fire. And what that would do is that would actually pool 4% of my current nest egg and allow me to live off of. For example, if we put in today's age 40, I could safely withdraw 4% of my nest egg. So 4% of $519,000 is $20,700. And this is my actual spending. Just need to make around $10,000 to cover the difference. And then at age 65, I would get the Social Security and then withdraw the difference so that I would still die at 100 with $17 million. If I want to kind of just be lazy and be like, let's just let my money do its thing, I don't have to invest a thing. But for funsies, because I put it out in the world, I do want to have $1 million net worth by age 45. Assuming 8%, I will have that by age 48 in 8 years, or assuming a 10% interest, I'll have that within 4 or 5 years. What do I need to do right now to reach that millionaire status? Assuming 8% interest within 5 years, I'm going to go with investing $30,000 a year, which is about $2,500 a month. And that for me with my cost of living is taking home just around $5,000, maybe a little bit more. That will be a push, but if I do that, I will have $1 million net worth within the 5 years. That was my plan, to become a millionaire in 5 years. In short, I'm going to really push to invest $2,500 a month to reach that millionaire status. Or I could just be lazy and let my money compound and grow. What do you think I should do? Let me know in the comments below. My yellow groupers, remember, if you're just getting started investing, I started investing a lot less. If you just invest a little bit, follow that finance plan, you can see your money work and grow for you. You can really turn things around. I totally believe in you. My yellow groupers, you are not too late. You're not behind. You got this. You can totally turn things around. I am here to hype you up. So it is now time for a best money class ever, when I have newlyweds and they actually tripled their net worth in 2 years. So 2 years from now, things could totally be different. They did it. Here is their story. So they were newlyweds. They owed about $24,000 in student loans and realized, oh, wait, maybe we're not doing some of the things the best that we could. They decided, hey, it is time to stop the status quo, look at their finances, and start a plan to pay off the debt and get really serious about investing. So the results, they did triple their net worth in just 2 years. What that looked like for them specifically is they paid off the $24,000, they saved a 6-month emergency fund, and they were maxing out their 401k plan. Their advice to you is, no matter how bad it might be in the moment, you can always come out of it. I totally agree. I hope that I influenced you to start investing a little bit and start the finance plan. Again, if you want to see exactly when you can become work optional and what happens when you semi-retire or retire early, you can grab the exact financial day planner that I use below. If you've been meaning to get your finances in order, now is the time, and this is the best place to start. Here, you'll learn how to overcome analysis paralysis with the finance plan. This is the roadmap that you've been looking for to pay off debt and retire a millionaire, even if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you have no idea where to start. Stay tuned. Next episode, we're going to talk about goals. So this one is especially for you if you set goals and you forget them by week 2 of January. I got some good things for you in store. I am really curious and I would love to hear from you. Do you want to become a millionaire? What are your investing goals for 2026? Let me know in the comments below. If you are watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, spill your financial tea. Did you like this episode? Make sure to like it and subscribe and share it with your friends who also geek out over personal finance. Leave me a 5-star review wherever you're listening. It really helps people who are on a mission to pay off debt and invest find this show. Best money class ever, my signature live and virtual personal finance class starts soon. Want in? For a limited time, you can take the intro for free. Head on over to Best Money Class Ever or the link below and save your spot. You'll instantly get a free 20-page downloadable guide with the finance plan. As always, remember you only live once. Be smart with your money now. I'll catch you later. Bye.